Sketchpad podcast, we back. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the page. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. Shout out to S. Not around right now, so we can't do the podcast together. But I will be back in the studio in a couple of days. But in the meantime, there are some new episodes that dropped. If you into reactions, they drop. If you into some political stuff, they drop. And I see a lot of people on our page that watch our videos but are not subscribed. Please subscribe. We're trying to reach 1 million subscribers. Thank you very much for your donations, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. And if you want to donate, links in the description. All right, so today I want to talk about Candace Owens, and I want to talk about her couple of interviews that she was doing, and I want to talk about her splitting from the Daily Wire. And I want to talk about a couple of different things and how I feel about it. Now, I am a full disclosure. I want to say this before we even go any further. So if you don't support it, just cut the video off. I am a huge Candace Owens supporter. I love Candace Owens. I believe she's such a beautiful black woman. All natural, beautiful woman. Very attractive looking, very beautiful to me. But that's besides the point. I like her and her messaging, right? Now, I see a lot of people are upset that she did the Breakfast Club, Fresh and Fit, Joe Budden podcast, right? And I seen a woman on TikTok who said that Candace Owens is a white supremacist, right? And she also said that Candace Owens is only doing these black outlets because she got fired from a white station. Now, I want to make some corrections here. Number one, she already did these interviews, at least 2 of them. Matter of fact, I believe 3 of them before she left the Daily Wire. I believe she did all 3. If not, she did at least 2. I know Fresh and Fit she did, and I know Joe Budden podcast she did. The Breakfast Club, I'm not sure about, but I believe she did the Breakfast Club before she split from the Daily Wire. Here's another thing. Because someone, a black person, has a difference of an opinion than you when it comes to black people, you cannot call them a white supremacist, right? Malcolm X had a difference of an opinion than Martin Luther King. Are you going to call Malcolm X a white supremacist? Right? The thing is, here's the thing. When Candace Owens speaks on black issues, that's what I care about. It's very difficult for you people to distinguish the difference between someone saying something positive and negative without you clamping on to the negative side. A lot of y'all who have issues with Candace Owens, a lot of y'all only clamp on to the negative side or the side that you think that you have a great argument on. But when you talk about what she talks about when they're keeping the black family together, you don't want to talk about that side because you just want to be right when it comes to her. You want to be right. You don't care about having a discussion about her. You just want to blame so this way you can feel as though that you're right. You don't want to say, you know what? I disagree with what she said about Breonna Taylor, and I disagree with what she said about George Floyd, but what she's saying about black families not being together, that is important too. But y'all want to do this. Okay, I don't like what she said about Breonna Taylor, so I'm automatically going to go to that side. Now, let's talk about that. Breonna Taylor has some things going on. We know she did because it said it in the report. Now, I'm not going to say anything about her being murdered or anything about that. But we do know that they lied about her being in the bed because she wasn't in the bed. They found her in the living room, in the hallway of the living room on the floor, right? She wasn't ever in the bed sleep. And on top of that, we know what happened when they engaged in gunfire. Right. George Floyd. Let's talk about it. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. George Floyd wasn't a good man. I'm not saying he should have died, and I totally disagree with what Derek Chauvin did to him. I don't care what anyone says. I disagree with Candace when it comes to that. You don't kneel on a man for almost 9 minutes, period. I don't care. You don't do that. That's wrong. And he should be in jail like he is for that. People could say, oh, well, that wasn't murder. No, it was. Whether you want to say it was intentional or unintentional, you did that on purpose. You don't kneel on somebody like that with your weight. I don't care if it was on the back of your neck or the back of something. Now, I'm not saying that's how he died, but I'm saying that's not what you do. This guy, George Floyd, was a bad guy. He was a drug addict. He needed to be in rehab or rehabilitation, right? But he didn't deserve to die that way. Now, they say he died because he had a heart attack and it was fentanyl in the system. Even if that's the case, I still would say he didn't deserve to die like that. He could have died standing up, but not like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Will Smith did something to his dog and he held his dog. You know what I'm saying? We know that he didn't die that way, but he didn't die from suffocation, or I believe he did. I don't know, but we all know. It's the same. That's how I feel about George Floyd. Now, with that being said, I agree with Candace when you say he's not a martyr. Right? George Floyd got all these statues, or got a statue now and all this stuff. And these people got y'all believing that they care about George Floyd. There's a lot of George Floyds out there. They ain't not bigging them up. They don't care about George. They care about you feeling some type of way and they could get your vote. That's it. But Candace Owens, she split from the Daily Wire. Now, I see a lot of podcasters saying, oh, she got fired. She got fired. I watch Ben Shapiro. I watch Jeremy Bourne. I watch the Daily Wire. I'm subscribed to the Daily Wire. Also watch Candace Owens. We don't know if she got fired. It was never said that she got fired. They said that they split ways. Never said she got fired. So I don't understand why y'all keep saying that she got fired. They split ways. Maybe it was a contract deal. Who knows? But then I seen something today where it said that when she had to comment, Jesus is King, a lot of them didn't like that. Now, we all know Ben Shapiro is Jewish, Candace Owens is a Christian. We know that. They went back and forth on Twitter or X about a certain amount of things. I knew that it was a problem since then. And to be clear, Ben Shapiro, I really like Ben. I do. But he's a snowflake. He's a pussy. Because you don't go in front of people and they're hitting cameras behind you and you talk shit on your colleagues. You don't do that. You should have said, listen, I don't have nothing to say about Candace Owens. We work together. I'm going to keep that private. But I disagree with a lot of things she said. But you went on there and you said some wild stuff in front of people. That, to me, lets me know that you're very biased and you didn't care about her opinion. But you always talking about free speech. I don't get it. But she was let go because of the comment that she made. Now, she had an interview with the rabbis, and I believe that she has a problem with the Jewish ADO, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure the name of it, but I believe she has a problem with them. Or they have a problem with her, I should say. And a lot of things about that I noticed about, and I'm going to say this because I think that this needs to be said. A lot of times I notice that when it comes to Jewish people or people of the Jewish faith, they have a real big issue with anti-Semitism or the people saying things that they consider anti-Semitic, right? But here's my thing. The Jewish people, right? Most of the Jews run a lot of stuff from Hollywood to the music industry, right? They run a lot of things. They have no problem when people call black people niggas. They have no problem when black people call each other niggas. Now, if you're saying something is anti-Semitic, or you're saying, oh, you shouldn't be saying that, and it's anti-Semitic, and you saying all this, why do you have a problem with that, but you okay with black people calling each other niggas? If you really care about name calling and things that are very destructive to you and how you view things, if you were a moral good person, you wouldn't allow that to go on. That's one thing that I notice about that. And I know a lot of people say, well, how do you draw the parallel to that? I do, because if these people saying they are moral, upstanding people, then why are they okay with black people being called a certain name, but not okay when people disagree with them? Why are they okay with that? They're not okay with people disagreeing with them, and they call them all types of, you're being anti-Semitic. Right? That's another thing. Another thing that bothers me, that I notice that y'all do, is y'all always want black people to forget about slavery and things that happened. But when it comes to the Holocaust or anything like that, oh, you want everybody to remember that. You want everybody to remember that. That's not fair. But that's enough of that. But anyway, what I don't like is how Candace Owens is a person who talks about black issues and black people being separated. What I don't like is certain TikTokers and certain black people are using certain things that she said and taking it out of context purposely just so they can be right in the argument. Now again, you might not like Candace Owens. Who's to say that you have to like Candace Owens? But do you agree that they separated black people and that really destroyed the black family? Do you agree with that? That's a question that I need you to ask yourself 100%. Whether you say, I don't like her, I hate her, I don't care. Do you agree with that? Because that's what she's talking about. And on top of that, if you watch the documentary she did on George Floyd, she learned a lot about George Floyd. And a lot of y'all don't want to mention that part, that she went into his family and she talked to his family and his roommates, and she changed her opinion about George Floyd. You don't want to talk about that though. Y'all don't want to talk about that because y'all fake. All of y'all TikTokers out here who talk about Candace Owens, but talk about one side of Candace Owens, but not the other side, you're fake. If you're going to be a journalist and you're going to post things, you have to post everything. You can't post one part of something and say, well, look what she said. She's a white supremacist. Really? And Joe Biden's not? You defend the guy who locked up multiple black men. That same guy you defend. But you know what it is. A lot of y'all don't do y'all research and y'all just want to be angry. That's it. But other than that, it is what it is. But shout out to Candace Owens, man. And she's making her rounds. I've seen a couple of videos and she's doing her thing, man. And she's putting her foot down as she should. And I can't wait until she develops her own network, so this way people can hear what she got to say. Either way, that's the video. You know what it is, man. Combat Convo, Torture Talk, Sketchpad Podcast. Go follow all of those pages. We out of here, man. See y'all. Peace. Bye.